Thank you, Chair. When we round off the investigation, preparing then to process the matter forward for prosecution, that is the time where we will be able then to bounce the actions and activities by each individual against the elements of the crime of obstructing, as the Chair has indicated. For now, the identification and information is talking to the activities. So they might, if I may make an example, there might be a person who had intent of defeating the cause of justice who was not at the scene, but who played a role. And then within a vehicle, there might be 2 or 3 people that were at the scene of crime. And maybe one of them did not have the intent, but then 2 had intent. So the final stages of investigation then will clearly give us the picture.
So at this stage, you are referring to the Hawks as a collective, not necessarily identifying individuals.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
So moving on to the issue of how far we are in terms of the identification of the activator. According to the reports that we received from the day of the operation and also our follow-up investigations that we did, is that Mr. Boy Mthethwa is the one who activated the involvement of the Hawks. Why we say so, it's because he was not within the premises. So when then he arrived, based on our methodology of operation, I think during my initial testimony, we played a short video of our very minor operation, which is compliance inspections in Kat Matlala's offices. And we saw how we approach each and every operation. It's the combat that will clear the target for the experts to come and do their work.
Who will neutralize? That's the verb that you use.
I was trying to avoid it, Chair. Who will neutralize the target so as it makes the environment conducive for the experts to do their work. So in this operation, the same happened. When then the target, if I talk to the target, we don't normally refer to a person. The target is from the gate or from the vicinity. Whatever that will demarcate as a target, the space that we must own during the operation, it will be referred to as a target. Now, when the target was neutralized, with using that word, with the permission from the chair, and then that's when then Mr. Mthethwa came and attempted then to cross over the red tape, the demarcated neutralized space, and he tried to introduce himself as a brother to Molefe. Still, that did not work, because it does not work, because you cannot make the target sterile and you also contaminate it. Whoever or whatever that attempts to contaminate the target will have to wait until we are done. So that choose or request was not successful of a Mr. Mtetwa who introduced himself as a brother so as he can be allowed to enter the neutral ground. And then he was refused, and then that's when then he indicated that he will call the Hawks to come. So that is the first part that talks to why we are moving towards identifying him as the activator of the Hawks.
But
Was
who did he
he-
call?
Was he
sorry.
seen making a call?
Can I?
Was he seen making a call?
Yeah, I'm still getting there, Commissioner. I was just.
Sorry for being so enthusiastic as you do.
I was indicating the words uttered first, that if you refuse me as a brother to Katisomulifi to enter, then I'm going to call the Hawks to come here, interpreted by us to come and deal with you, that you are refusing me access into the premises. And then thereafter, the evidence also led by Captain Wanda, who was the senior during that operation, confirms then that he did speak to Brigadier Mukwena of the Hawks through the phone of Mr. Mtetwa, maybe linking that with the information that we had received, that the information of the deployment of the Hawks came from the national head to the divisional commissioner, then to Brigadier Mukwena. Now, when the evidence of Captain Wanda comes with him talking to a Brigadier Mukwena through the phone of Mr. Mtetwa, takes us back to the utterances of Mr. Mtetwa that I will call the Hawks to come. That is the second part. So by the time then Mr. Mtetwa activated, as I've said, the Hawks according to our current information, because the activation was under the pretense of police impersonation, that whoever chose the police impersonation as a reason to activate the Hawks did not have access to Officer Mokhatle's confirmation long before, to say the activities, people that are around hoovering and doing whatever are real police officers. It means there is an operation that is coming. So we are saying, that is my view, that there was that either lack of communication or the use of police impersonation was an attempt to make it look genuine. But the information was already confirmed during the pre-operation phase. Then on further investigation, it was then confirmed. I'm going back to the Toms, the Hawks, General Shibiri. It was then confirmed that indeed General Shibiri was not wrong when he gave us the information long before that there are officers within Toms of Hawks that are working together with the cartel. That was also confirmed then on the 6th of July when we confiscated the phone from Madlanga, which is part of the cartel. We are using that to round off what informs the current view that the events that are involving the JMPD officer as well as the Hawks, we are holding the view of it being the defeating the ends of justice on that specific day.
General, but do you know who Mr. Mthethwa is? Is he a relative of Mr. Molefe? Who is he?
Unless I am pushed further by the senior counsel, I'll confirm that we do know who Mr. Mthethwa is. He is an associate of Mr. Molefe.
He's an associate of Mr. Molefe?
Yes.
And you're saying you will go no further. Is this part of an ongoing criminal investigation?
It is part of the ongoing investigation. That's correct.
And just the one other thing is, I wasn't sure whether you had got there, or whether you said it was who exactly, do you know who Mr. Mthethwa called exactly? I know the evidence says that Mr. Mokwena was on the line, and of course he rounded up the troops to go and to check out the scene, but who did he call?
Yeah, thank you, commissioners. That is the part of the investigation that we are rounding up, that I can link with my response to the question that was asked by the chairperson, that using the chain of events as well as the information that we had through affidavits and the information on the ground, together with the statements or affidavits that are talking to the chain of communication, we are still in that process of positively linking the two. That will give us then the final suspicions that the involvement of A, D, and F was intentional, but the involvement of B, E, and G was collateral damage, or was by a coincidence.
Okay, thank you, General. Does that then conclude your...
Interference.
Yes, what you wish to say about interference by the Hawks? And what I meant is in relation to Mr. Molefe and the incident of Mr. Molefe.
That is correct, Commissioners.
And are you now going to turn to the operation on the same day
Yes.
that took place at Mr. Matlala's home, I believe?
Yes.
Okay, so you've already explained why both were conducted on the same day. And what exactly was it that you were seeking to do at Mr. Matlala's house? What was that investigation about?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. As I've indicated, the purpose of the operation that we termed search and questioning was part of the investigation that was informed by the intelligence that we had collected, and most importantly, that we had confirmed around the same day or same hours or same days we got the warrant of arrest of Mr. Molefe between the 4th and the 5th. When you have finalized the investigation, you brief the prosecution and you get the warrant of arrest. So as that was happening, we're also receiving more concrete intelligence that was talking to the kidnapping case. I gave the background, maybe not in full, that investigation to be allocated to this team came as a result of a meeting that I was invited to by the National Commissioner with a victim. A victim, I mean people that are closer to the victim of kidnapping. It is during that meeting that they shared their wish and their uncomfortability about this particular kidnapping case being investigated within the office of the Deputy National Commissioner, Lt Gen Dumisani, because according to them, their information was Mr. Madlanga was involved in the kidnapping, and Mr. Madlanga is very close to the Deputy National Commissioner. So it is during that meeting that the instruction, in some cases, if not all cases, in the SAPS we work with instructions, not requests, that the team, GCI Ops, must take over this investigation. So during the collection of intelligence as well as information, which also included a lot of digital forensic analysis in terms of video footages, that included a lot of call data analysis, because we had those experts that were there to assist in the Vereeniging case. Now that this case has been made part of this, they were also assisting. So the operation then was termed the search and questioning, because there was evidence, or not evidence, there was intelligence that was confirmed that the victim might be in those particular premises, and delaying that, as I referred to earlier on, that kidnapping is a life and limb situation. Your first objective is to rescue the victim unharmed.
When did you acquire that intelligence, that the victim may be at these premises?
It was being acquired as the days were moving towards the 6th, but specifically between the 4th and the 5th, that's when then the information or intelligence was confirmed, which then prompted us to plan that operation, so as then we achieve the main objective of rescuing the victim. And if I'm not mistaken, witness C testified a lot on the specifics that we had in terms of intelligence that day.
Okay. So you confirmed the intelligence on around the 4th, 5th, and you conducted the operation on the 6th. And then what happened when you arrived?
That will bring me to the third and the last part of interference, which again, according to my view, subscribes to the defeating the ends of justice. We we had confirmed, as I've said, intelligence, and we were not going to take a decision to have that operation if we did not check what we had against our standard operational procedures. Then the interference in the form of defeating the ends of justice in that second operation now comes in the interview that the team had with the subject of investigation, Mr. Madlanga, who confirmed and even showed evidence that Sergeant Nkosi told me that you are coming. The first part of that was told me where the place where you were having the briefing. When we go for an operation, we'll have a staging area where we will brief, the final brief before we attend to the target. So the situation reports were going to Mr. Madlanga as we are moving on with the operation. So which will be between an hour or 2 hours as we move on. So if you are given the concrete information that the team is having their briefing session in that place, and after that they are coming to your house, and then you have enough time to prepare. Hence, then when the team came, Mr. Madlanga confirmed that he was expecting and waiting for them. Looking at that evidence and information.
Sorry, General Khumalo, you mentioned Officer Nkosi. I just want to confirm that that is not the same Nkosi that was giving evidence before the commission, I think yesterday. This is not the warrant officer. This is a Sergeant Nkosi.
That is correct, Commissioners. Maybe I was going to call this one witness E, if that was the case. This is a Sergeant Nkosi, yes, who is a detective, yes, attached to the office of the Deputy National Commissioner, General Sibiya.
And this is the Sergeant Nkosi that witness C has testified about?
That's correct, Commissioner.
And is this the same Sergeant Nkosi who had the bank card of Mr. Madlanga that we saw in those WhatsApp pictures?
That is correct, Commissioners.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
I should think on the interference paragraphs that are moving from 112 of my affidavit to 124, that is talking to the interference, that I am holding the view of it being the defeating the ends of justice and obstruction. It was really a bad day for the team. We are not people that are happy with a 50% out of 100%. When we do our work, prepare, and we decide to go for a takedown, we want 100%. But the way what I referred to as interference in my affidavit made us not to achieve the 100% that we always strive for, more especially at our second operation then that is related to kidnapping.
Okay, so, and you say that because of this interference by Nkosi, which defeated your operation on that day. And is this, and I need you to just take this further. I want to understand how you fit the sergeant into the picture. You've said before that he is, he's close to General Sibia.
That is correct, Commissioners.
Why do you say that?
I say he's close, firstly, because officially he is working from his office. And there is evidence that we are still going to lead that will confirm the closeness in terms of the resources that he is utilizing, the official resources that he is utilizing to further the objectives of the cartel instead of the objectives of SAPS to investigate crime as he is expected to do. Senior Counsel touched on the...
Should we do that? I mean, you say that we will still lead. Should we just get there? Let's get to that point, the evidence that you want to lead in relation to Sergeant Nkosi.
That is correct,
Okay.
Commissioners. We can get to that evidence.
Before you do that, Ms. Asim, can I just ask a question? General, this Sergeant Nkosi, was he part of the team that would have been involved with this operation at Mr. Matlala's? Was he part of it?
Thank you, Commissioner. No, not at all. The team that is, because Sergeant Nkosi is a detective. So in this team, we have only 3 detectives, and we know them, we work with them. So there won't be the 4th one that, as I indicated, that during our investigation, more especially during takedown, we try by all means to limit the involvement of other people, because we had invested so much on what we have collected. Now, if we are going to allow a newcomer, a foreigner, to come and have access to what we have, it might then jeopardize our chances of being successful. So he was not part of the investigation.
If he wasn't part of the investigation, how would he have known the kind of detail, for example, that you are now meeting for briefing? You're at a staging, I think you call it a staging place, and from there you are proceeding to Mr. Matlala on that day. How would he have known that information?
Thank you, Commissioner. That is the part of the investigation that we are rounding off to talk to the defeating the ends of justice. There are lots of possibilities, and we have done some eliminations so as then we can come to the final evidence that will give us exactly how was he able to get these blow-by-blow plans and activities by the team on that specific day.
Was that the fact that you are conducting the operation on the day, but also the detail of your staging? You have your meeting for a briefing at a particular place at a particular time. Was that information that was widely known within the SAPS?
Thank you, Commissioner. As I reflected earlier on, we try by all means to protect our information, especially when it comes to that stage of takedown. The information was not widely known. I indicated that the combat team that we we planned and utilized for this part of operation was the Special Task Force team, 2 sections that we had to get from other provinces other than Gauteng, because we had information and intelligence as to how resourceful the cartel is, especially within Gauteng, but still it managed then to get into this particular agent. And so it's part of the investigation. Started with the debriefing, checking as to where did we go wrong, what happened, and then it led us then to the investigation where we are eliminating facts that cannot be true or be evidence, but we are moving closer to having a concrete answer, which is one of, we always say, learning curves, because when you are involved in a counterintelligence project, the first fact is you are fighting an enemy from within, other than from outside SAPS. So we are in that situation, Commissioner.